an altar at the base of that cross that was erected at the time of the landing of Menendez, where the Catholic priest that accompanied them on that journey celebrated the first Mass in North America on that altar. And that was what they did typically. These were all Catholics from Spain. They would bring priests with them on their travels across the oceans. It was dangerous. It took weeks and weeks to travel. A lot of nasty things can happen in that length of time. And for that reason, the priests would pray for safe travel, and then they would thank God by celebrating a Mass of Thanksgiving when they reached dry land. And that's exactly what happened there, Father Francisco Lopez. And that land is now owned by the Catholic Church. There's a shrine and a beautiful chapel back there. Those were even there back in the day when this was an Indian village. Were there Indians in America before Europeans? Of course there were. We know that. They were the original inhabitants of this country, all the way coast to coast. This part of Florida, we had three tribes. We had Seminole, Talamado, and Timucuan. And only the Timucuan were friendly. The others were hostile. All that land from the cross behind us there to the Fountain of Youth, where we're going next, was all part of that Indian village of the Timucuan Indians. The Fountain of Youth was the north end of it. That's where we're headed right now. And this place happened 52 years before Menendez, and this is where Ponce de Leon came ashore. Now, how did that legend get started? It's anybody's guess. There's a lot of speculation about the Fountain of Youth. Can you drink water from anywhere on Earth and gain eternal youth? Of course not. Was it a legend? Yeah. But did this really happen? Oh, yeah. Why it happened is anybody's speculation, but it did happen. That's the key. And in 1513, Ponce de Leon did land here and claimed this land for Spain. In fact, he named this territory La Florida because it was Easter season when he stepped foot ashore over here. And another name for Easter in Spain is La Pascua de Florida, which means the Festival of Flowers. And that's how we got our state's name. Now we pause here and kind of tip our hat and pay that be right. Why? Well, because this tree should not be alive. This tree's a freak of nature. You know that? It's a freak of nature. Because it's a live oak tree is not the reason it's a freak of nature, but it's a freak of nature because it's still alive. Live oaks typically live about 350 years. That's a long time too. But this tree's been studied scientifically by botanists and plant pathologists, and they put his age right at 618 years. They don't know why. Nobody knows why. Now it would be cliche if I said, is it because he's right across the street from the Fountain of Youth? There is something. There honestly is something going on up here, not because of the siren behind us, and I mean before that. If you think about it, because of the age of that tree, he was already over 100 years old in the year 1513 when Ponce de Leon set ashore, put ashore over here. You know, that was 506 years ago. That tree's 618, so that's well over 100 difference. If that tree could only talk, can you imagine what kind of stories he'd tell?
They'll tell you why they were fighting.
Take poetic license and personify that tree and make it talk. Tell a story. I want to put a speaker in the bow of that tree sometime and do a pre-recorded message and pretend that tree is talking. Because I'm sure he would tell some stories. In fact, he not only witnessed Menendez landing, the Ponce de Leon landing, he witnessed the Timucuan Indians establishing their village before Ponce de Leon, because this was the north end of that village. That dome on your right? That's the planetarium. Folks, this is a 15-acre park. The fountain itself is here. It's a natural spring. It's out there. It's by the river, the same river, the Matanzas, the Intercoastal. Here that goes out into the river. There's a beautiful breeze out there. If you want to take a walk out there and take a drink from the fountain, you might feel younger. All I'm going to say about that is it's not the years in your life, it's the life in your years. Now, I think there is some credibility to this fountain. Not that it's going to give you eternal youth, but my wife's always telling me I'm acting childish, and I tell her it's because I drive by the Fountain of Youth every day. And, you know, is there a correlation there? No. Do I like to pretend there is? Yeah. Am I a big goofball? Yeah. I don't care. Woo! I don't know. My son just turned 38, 39 years old, and he still calls me a dork sometimes. Dad, you're a dork. But he is too, because he's one of a kind. He's the apple that fell not far from the tree. We're both a couple of characters. But that's the way it is. Have fun in life, guys. All aboard! This is our stop for the Fountain of Youth, the one and only. This straggly gray stuff that looks like cobwebs hanging out of the trees is called Spanish moss. It doesn't depend on the trees for its nutrition. It lives off the air. And Spanish moss is full of bugs called chiggers. Feel free to take any, as much as you want home as a souvenir. It is not a protected species at all, so rip it down and take it home. But you will regret it. Yes, you will. It doesn't depend on the trees for its nutrition at all. No, it lives off the air. And it's not even a moss. I don't know who named it Spanish moss. It's in the pineapple family. That is a fact. Let's go to the old jail next. Full steam ahead. This is the only way I can turn on the air conditioner for you. It sounds like a fast-moving train. A runaway locomotive. Look out! Here we go! Oh, that breeze feels good. Where is the breeze today? Non-existent. Now, this jail is a museum now, and it wasn't built to look like a jail. No, this was a jail that is now a museum. Actually, it was built 3 years after the Ponce de Leon Hotel. Remember, the Ponce de Leon Hotel was Henry Flagler's pride and joy, his crown jewel. Right across the street was the original jail. It wasn't a very pleasant thing for those wealthy folks to experience all winter long, so Henry Flagler hired a company called the Trolley Jail Company to build this jail right here in front of us. Yes, the old jail was built in 1891, and this was our jail until 1953. Nothing has changed inside. The warden and his family lived on the second floor. Oh, they were protected and guarded. Out behind the jail is a gallows where they did public hangings for the really bad ones. And the tour guides will show you a really good time here, guys. It's a lot of fun, and it is a museum now, and it's just plain fun for us. All aboard for the old jail. If you want to have whatever capital crime, by your peers on the jury, and the bailiff hands that decision to the judge. The judge says guilty, and you're sentenced to death or life in prison. When you're sentenced to death, then you appeal the case, and you go to death row for 129 years. Before the next trial comes up. That didn't happen back then because there was no such thing as an appellate court system. And once that verdict was reached, that's it, that's all. Boom! The judge's gavel would fall on the bench. Guilty, hang him within 72 hours. Next case. That's it. By and large, most of the prisoners did their time on the chain gang, right? And that wagon right there was built by a company very sturdily to be a jail on wheels, and that's what they used to use prisoners out of. To do work on the chain gangs all day long. The old wagon. So this is our welcome center. If you're headed back into downtown, stay on the train. I personally want to thank you so much. Let me hand out a few more of these flyers if you're interested. They're things that I just made up about drinking water. If nothing else, it's a reminder to force yourself to drink water. Meantime, though, guys, have a good time today. Have fun. Be safe out there, and hopefully I'll see you again. God bless. Bye-bye. Next driver's coming out.
Bye.
Alright, this is still way too loud in my opinion. Alright. We're gonna go, let's go. Oh my god, we're gonna die! Our whole St. Augustine adventure begins in the year 1492. Because in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, right? And in 1493, Columbus sailed that deep blue sea. And in 1494, I don't need an amen corner, thank you. Wow, she was like my Aunt Began. Amen. So, and I was even looking like, how does this guy know what an amen corner is? So in 1493, when he jumped ship in Hispaniola, Dominican Republic, in Haiti, he traveled around the Caribbean. Ponce de Leon did, eventually became governor of the island of Puerto Rico. He liked being governor, but he missed his lady. His lady was the sea, but he didn't want to go back out to sea. So his alternate plan, he'd sit in the local taverns. He'd listen to sailors sing songs about whales, mermaids, all the weird, strange, and exotic places and people. One day, two fellas are whispering. He moves closer, and he hears them whispering about the island of Bimini and more treasure than you guys could carry or spend in a lifetime, and this magical fountain of youth, and if you drink from it, you're going to live forever. And he said, oh boy, I want to go there. So he loaded up his boat, got his buddies together, and they went out looking for the island of Bimini. and that magical fountain of youth. They never found it. Instead, they found this beautiful land